bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit.
Right, okay, we are now in Nightcap National Park, and we've parked up at Minion Falls. This is the main parking area to get to the falls. They're probably about a couple of K behind me, which we've got to now do a little bit of a trek through the woods, which I'm quite looking forward to actually. And apparently there's a really nice viewing platform, which I've been told has some really stunning views. Okay, so we're going to crack on. Okay, well, we stopped off at Minion Falls on the route to the campground, and at the moment we're just tracking along the river to get to the falls. The water's not very high at the moment, so I'm not expecting anything massively spectacular going over this, but apparently when it rains a lot the falls are quite magnificent, what people have told me. So yeah, we're just going to follow it along the river's edge at the moment and get to the falls in a minute. We got to the campground and the gate is shut and locked. Don't know why. It's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works for what we wanted to do today. So we're going to head back down and sort of rethink about what's going on. Don't know why it's locked. They should be open. I don't know if you've got to get a key from a ranger or something along them lines. Really don't know. So we're going to head back down to the nearest town and really find out what's going on and if I can get any more information about it. But as I said, it doesn't look like we'll be getting into the campsite tonight, or today, I mean. We just stopped off in Lismore to find out what's happening with the camping grounds, and apparently they're both shut for maintenance. I wish I'd have known that before I booked it, because they've taken my money for it, so I need to get back onto the National Park Service and see if I can get a refund. I mean, it's only $26, but it's the principle of it, really. I would have thought they'd let me know that before I've driven all the way out here to sort of like pitch up for the night. So yeah, a bit gutted really. So we're going to head off, I suppose, somewhere else. So see where we end up tonight, I suppose. But whatever happens, we're camping. We are definitely camping. I'm not going back into a hostel. We are camping. That's it. Done. Camping. No, I shouldn't swear, but there you go. Yeah, it's just been a fucked up day. Right, so over the last week, haven't done really anything. Been feeling really crappy. Sort of come down with a headache and a cold, sore throat and everything, and the camping went a bit tits up at Nightcap. So we've really just been staying in, trying to get feeling a bit better again. And We've headed up to a town called Noosa Heads, and we're just sort of taking a walk through the high street at the moment. We're going to go and do a bit of filming. We've stopped off here because we're heading up to, well, it's a halfway point of the way up to Fraser Island, and we booked there for 4 days, so I'm going to go and do a bit of fishing and camping up there. Apparently it's meant to be really nice, and yeah, it's just going to get on with it really. We booked into the YHA hostel here, which again is a nice place. I'm going to stick with these YHA places if I'm going to sort of do any hostels, but as we move up the coast now, I think we're going to be doing more and more camping. One of the main things that I wanted to do when I was here in Australia was spend some time on Fraser Island. Everyone said to me about, you know, it's a beautiful place and it's a really good place to be. Looking forward to doing a bit of off-road driving because it's all on sand, and you need to have a 4x4, hence one of the reasons why we got the car in the first place, so we can really go and do places like this. Right, well, I suppose the best thing to do is have a quick recap about what's been going on over the last week. I've come down with a cold, sore throat, headache, felt really rough, and pretty much haven't done anything at all. So what the plan was really was to slowly work my way up the coast, not really do a lot, and get up here to what we're on at the moment, is Fraser Island. So we booked in for 4 days up at Waddy Point campsite, which, me being an idiot that I am, I didn't realise how actually big Fraser Island is. I suppose the name 75 Mile Beach should have given me a bit of an indication, but it didn't. So we booked up probably the furthest campsite, which means we've now got probably around about 90 mile to do on the beach, driving on the beach, which is quite fun but also quite dangerous as well. There's rivers that come in from inland which leave these quite big depressions in the sand, and if you hit them at speed you could be in trouble. So at the moment we've stopped off at a place called Eurofon. It's like a little resort village, and we've done that here today so we can get some fuel. I've got about half a tank in the car at the moment, but just to be prudent I want to get it really topped up, just in case anything does go wrong. The last thing I want to be doing is running out of fuel in the middle of nowhere. The weather is pretty crap at the moment. It's raining, but that's actually a good thing for driving on the beach, because it obviously compacts the sand down a little bit, makes it a lot better and a lot smoother for the vehicle. So, you know, if you've got real powdery sand, it's easy to get bogged down and stuck. We've invested in some 4x4 tracks which can go under the tyres if we do get stuck, a little shovel, and we've deflated the tyres to around about 16-17 psi. Again, that gives us a big footprint in the sand, and that will stop us again won't stop us getting stuck, but it will certainly help us not get stuck. I think the plan for the next 4 days is really just going to be fishing, a bit of exploring, a bit more fishing, and maybe a bit of fishing. So we're just going to chill out, and also in a couple of days time it's my birthday, and I thought to myself, what a wonderful place to spend time on my birthday on Fraser Island. It's a magnificent place, it really is, from what I've seen so far. I wanted to get some filming done on the ferry, and do the whole getting onto the ferry bit, but we actually drove down from Noosa Heads last night, and we arrived at Skip Point at around about 11 o'clock. So it was a bit late and a bit dark to get the roof tent out, so we sort of just tried to make up a little bit of bed with some cushion, with some pillows and a blanket in the front seat, and it's pretty uncomfortable as you can imagine, and finally got to sleep at around about 4:30 this morning. The only problem was we needed to be up at 5:45, so we had a bit of time to obviously deflate the tyres, get ready for the barge that goes across. Well, I woke up late, around about 6:15, and the ferry leaves at 6:30, and we really need to be on that ferry. The main reason for that is the tides here. you need to be driving up the beach within 2 hours of high tide or low tide, or after 2 hours. It just basically means the water's not too high, the sand's not going to be too wet, and you've got a reasonably firm beach to drive on. So yeah, we sort of like, it was rush this morning. We did make the ferry, we got across, and then just started heading up the beach. The first few miles were pretty scary, to be honest with you. Didn't know what I was doing, but I'm feeling a bit better now. I said we've got to, we've probably done around about 50k up the beach, and we're stopping off here now, just having a coffee and chilling out. So we're going to do a bit of filming as we go up the beach, of the drive and everything, and yeah, hope you enjoy it. Well, we've come off the beach and we've headed inland to get round Indian Head, which is a big rock outcrop, and I can honestly turn around and say this is the most fun driving I have had in a long time. It is brilliant. Not really done a lot of 4x4 driving before, or off-road driving, and yeah, I'm enjoying every minute of it. This is brilliant. But we're getting close to Waddy Point, which is our destination. We should be there in about half an hour. And the scenery here is spectacular. It is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, really looking forward to getting set up camp and yeah, just sort of having a look around really. But brilliant, 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 brilliant. Love it. Can't say how much I'm enjoying this. This is such good fun. Big thumbs up on this one.